Within the Tokyo Station Hotel, all of the Amakusa, New Light, the Knight Leader Marshal, the Fuma Aqua of the Rear Orwell, Agnese and her Catholic battle nuns, Sasa Krutsev, Style Magnus and his three witches, Index, Elizabeth Montgomery, the former magic god Nothinus, and Touma Kamijou are taking their deserved rest. McIntyre paid for their reservations because they refused to head to Academy City, fearing that it would attract too much attention. Even with the luxury that they are staying under, it is hard to forget what had happened. Bagan is free, and it and Xenoff are coming for them, while the Celtic armed forces will probably invade mainland Europe. Inside of room 280, Touma, Index, and Nothinus have remained in the room for the entire day. Index and Nothinus could not exit the room for an hour. The reason is the former. In his black hoodie and pants, Kamijou is sitting down on one of the beds. He buries his face in his hands and contemplates what had just transpired. His mind becomes overwhelmed with flashes of explosions, the sounds of whistling artillery, the screams of soldiers and people, and the roar of Bagan. His right hand and both of his legs twitches. He breathes uncontrollably, and his face is sweating. Suddenly, he collapses from the bed to his knees on the floor. He screams bloody murder and starts swinging his fists in the air, thinking that there is something there. It is exactly what McIntyre told him about, and what Index and Nothinus is familiar with. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. The nun and the former magic god rushes over to the erratic boy. Index gently grabs his hands, and Nothinus prevents him from backing away rapidly. Touma, I'm here. It's all right. The war is over. You're safe. She repeats these words for a few times more every 30 seconds. After each time, Kamijou's body relaxes. His breathing returns to a steady pace, and finally, after 5 minutes, the boy is under control. Coming back to his senses, he hugs Index for helping him. But he would not be the only one. At 1:00 a.m., Agnese suddenly wakes up, screaming, grabbing her lotus wand, and swinging it against the floor, causing an air pocket to hit the ceiling. Sisters Angeline and Lucia wakes up and rushes over to her. Sister, it's okay. It's okay. Grab the wand. I'll calm her down. The young girl grabs the wand, and Lucia grabs hold of her leader's arms. Agnese, it's okay. You're not on the front line anymore. We're still alive. We're right here. She repeats the phrase to her over and over again. She does not blame her for what they all went through. Seeing her comrades die and their body parts everywhere has caused her to fear for herself and the others around her. After repeated reassurances, Agnese finally calms down and comes back to reality. She lowers her head and buries her face in her hands as tears flows down her face. Lucia and Angeline hugs her to comfort her. Most of every sorcerer in the hotel are having trouble sleeping, more so than others. They fear the possibility of Bagan and Xenoff heading for Japan, and they are not wrong in feeling that way. Room service brings breakfast to the room. The employee places 2 plates of food on Kamijou and Index's bed. Here you are. Is there anything else you want me to do for you? Touma does not answer and stares at his food. No. That is all. Thank you. Miss Kuno bows and walks out of the room. Index and Nothinus looks at the friend. Are you okay, Touma? Yeah. I'm fine. Let's eat, okay? He lifts his hand up and grabs the fork. With his right hand shaking, he slowly picks up a piece of egg and eats it. Index's eyes locks on Nothinus. I think we're making progress. I don't know if we are. The former magic god gets up and clicks on the remote in between them, turning on the TV. The news immediately comes on. The Second Civil War in the Soviet Republic of Russia continues to rage on. Meanwhile, in Western Europe, tensions within the British Isles are increasing by the hour. The United Kingdom of Great Britain, now flying the 1707 Union Jack, has introduced conscription. The Celtic Republic is boosting their defenses as well. Around the world, everyone is calling it the Second Cold War, not just a battle of ideologies, as Celtic uprisings continues to surge. In his speech, British Prime Minister McIntyre has stated that war is the last option, but the UK and NATO will be ready for it. And while we do not know which countries are its partners, Irish Prime Minister Xenoff has stated the same thing. I am afraid this is the first time since the First Cold War that a threat of all-out war hangs over our heads. Kamijou drops the fork and places his hands on his face. If only there was something that we can do. Ultimus turns to her. What can we do? We're completely powerless against the likes of Bagan and the Black Death. Enough of this shit. The boy grabs the remote and aims it at the TV. Switching topics now, it has been almost 24 hours since Godzilla has been last spotted. Touma stops before he pushes on the button. The kaiju made landfall near the Ikata nuclear power plant during an unexpected heat wave and drained all of the radiation from the reactor. Tens of employees and military personnel were killed, but the radioactivity around the plant has not been detected. Kamijou's eyes slowly widens and he carefully sets the remote down. Minutes later, he made his way towards the town of Ikata itself and was attacked by the ACDF and JSDF. No weapon from the ground forces and the destroyers made any significant damage. Even a point-blank railgun by Academy City's 3rd level 5 to his face did not do anything. In retaliation, Godzilla fired blue flames like a dragon, killing all of the JSDF and ACDF soldiers on the ground, but leaving the railgun and her team unharmed. Afterwards, the kaiju walked back into the sea. The JMSDF submarine fleet's last confirmation of Godzilla was somewhere within the Nankai Trough. Holy crap. I guess things over here are not much better. Yeah, poor brown hair. Must have sucked for her. Of course. Elizabeth and Ultimus darts their eyes to Touma.
Of course. How the hell did I forget about this? Ah, man, I'm such an idiot.
Touma, you're starting to worry me. Yeah, same here. With a smile on his face, he turns his upper body and grabs Index by her shoulders. Index, we just found a new solution to our problem. No. We just found a new massive ally. Montgomery's face lights up with relief and joy, and Ultimus is starting to pay attention. You did? Who? He points to the TV just as the videos of Godzilla are shown once more. Index's smile disappears, replacing it with a look of disgust and bewilderment. She looks at the smiling Kamijou dead in the eyes. Have you gone mental? Nope. Well, it's been a while since I did this. 2:00 p.m. A maid is walking down the hallway, pushing a cart of cleaning supplies and utilities. She turns the corner and spots Itsuo leaning against the door that leads into room 280. Hello there. Are you looking for something? Itsuo looks to the old lady. Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm just waiting for someone. The sudden scream of Kamijou inside of the room scares the two.
What was that? It's nothing. It's, a bit of an issue.
Ah, family issue?
Yes, that's right.
It pains me to witness a troubling teen. My granddaughter in Academy City is like that.
She hardly ever calls me.
Can't imagine why. Meanwhile, inside of the room, an infuriated Index is biting on Kamijou's head like a crocodile. Unusual for him when he says or do something stupid.
Yeah, I never liked it. Got it!
Watching him are Kazaki, Ultimus, and British Prime Minister McIntyre. The former two are looking at him with furious disappointment. Honestly, I was feeling sympathetic for you. I really was. That is, until I realized, oh, wait a minute, this boy is still a dumbass.
Having one kaiju fight another. Have you lost your mind? Can you at least let me explain, please?
Montgomery, that is enough. The English nun removes her teeth from the boy's head. She sits down and picks the hair out of her teeth. The boy rubs the area where she bit him.
Oh, God. I'm surprised I haven't lost any blood.
Oh, wait. Now, answer me this. Why on heavenly earth would you ever think of something like that?
Do you realize the amount of damages that they will cause if they fight?
I realize that, but I'm just saying that if there was a way to kill Bagan, Godzilla's the one that can do it.
And you didn't think that could be a dumb idea? I never said it was a good idea.
We lost because of Bagan and the Black Death. Using one monster to fight another
is not the way to fix our problem. Oh, what? You have a better idea? Forget it. We're not doing it.
The priestess turns her back, crossing her arms. What other option is there? Hearing his words, the three turns to Francis. Sensei, what are you? All of your attacks did not work. All of your attacks did not work, but only slowed down the beast. And I know that conventional weapons will not work. I cannot believe I am saying this, but I am siding with Sir Kamijou.
Really?
What? You can't be serious. This idiot is
basically wanted the entire city of Tokyo to be a battlefield.
McIntyre turns to his people with a very serious look. Do not misconstrue what I say. The idea in itself is beyond preposterous, but can you honestly think of another way to defeat Bagan and Xenoff? The four are taken aback. Kanzaki, Ultinus, and Index are thinking that Kamijou's idea would not work. But indeed, what other option is there? You know what? I can't think of anything else, so I guess I can go along with it.
What the?
Alright, fine.
What?
Kaori? Fine, I'll go along with it. Alright, it is unanimous. Keep in mind, Sir Kamijou, this plan of yours will be very difficult. Given what happened in Ikata yesterday, it is easy to see why. Especially when she will not approve. She? He suddenly realizes who this she that McIntyre is referring to. Oh, yes, indeed. Misaka. Sitting on the white couch, Mikoto Misaka is tapping her foot on the floor. Her left eyebrow is twitching. The sight of what Godzilla did yesterday lingers in her mind. Bolt suddenly sparks in her brown hair. Whoa, calm down. The 16-year-old, red leather jacket wearing Mikoto sits down on the couch in front of the first and the table. She places a cup of green tea on the table and leans back. The last thing I need is a fire caused by you. We're still packing, you know. Mikoto lowers her head and brushes her hair back. Sorry. It's just, I can't describe what happened yesterday. Satan, with Sphinx in her arms, comes up and sits beside Konori. I know. We all saw. I was surprised your railgun didn't work. And he scratched his face like he was saying, F you.
Well, him too.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't his intention. Satan, Godzilla looked into my eyes. I knew right then and there. Okay, look at it this way. At least you didn't get killed, right? Misaka's anger begins to subside a little. I guess. See? There you go. Sure it didn't, go well, but you'll get another chance. At least you're still a volunteer. Misaka crosses her arms. If I can actually get that second chance. Her eyes locks on the white, black, orange-spotted cat Sphinx in Satan's arms. Wait, I've seen that cat before. Isn't it that nun's cat? Huh? Oh, Sphinx. Yeah, Touma asked me and Uehara to take care of him while he was gone. I hope he's alright. What happened to his leg? That Xenoff guy snapped it off. The more Mikoto hears of the Xenoff, the more likely she wants to avoid him. Sphinx jumps from Satan's arms and lands on the table. Even with an injured arm, he can stand on his own. Mikoto reaches her hand out, wanting to pat the animal on the head, but Sphinx jerks his head back. She leans back on the couch, confused. What? Oh, because of my electricity, no animal can get near me. She leans forward, smiling and looking at the cat. I'm sure your master is okay. Just hang in there, alright? Sphinx smiles, responding to her. Misaka's smile fades as the thought comes to her mind. She leans back on the couch and puts her hand under her chin. What's up? I'm a bit concerned. Of? When I sparked some bolts, it somehow got Godzilla's attention. Can he actually detect my electricity? Satan and Konori do not know what to say, but she does raise a good point. Now that you mention it, it didn't seem odd that he just left the nuclear plant. Really? I'm more worried where Godzilla's going to land. Mikoto removes her hand from her chin and looks at Konori. I'm pretty sure all of us are having that thought right now. Yeah, with so many locations, it's hard to judge where he's going to go to next. The door to the office opens and Uehara walks inside. The three looks to her direction as she approaches them. Jeez, where have you been? I'm sorry, I rode a bus to get back here and the traffic was insane. Everyone is literally waiting for the evacuation order. Evacuation order? Accelerator and the Japanese government thinks that Godzilla will head for Tokyo Bay. They think he'll head there? He's within the Nonkai Trough, so the possibility is there. The middle schooler looks to where the computer is set up. Say, is the computer set up still? Well, it's already packed, so no. Can you hook it back up, please? Why? We might evacuate soon. The reason why I was away is because I got new data and research on Godzilla. It will make you see him in a much different light. Misaka, Konori, and Satan looks to the area where the computer was, then looks back at their friend. This may take a little bit. 4:35 p.m. All of the sorcerers in the Tokyo Station Hotel are getting word of the plan that Touma Kamijou had created and approved by Prime Minister McIntyre. In his room, with Spearhead, Elvis, and Blackball, is face-palming with disappointment. I cannot believe this. What did you expect from a boy like him? It's not the first time. Also, could you please pull out the cigarette before we get kicked out? The red-haired boy grabs the cigarette from his mouth and crushes it in his right hand. Of all things, getting one monster to fight another? What the hell kind of a plan is that? With all due respect, Master, it makes sense when you think about it. And look at the bright side. At least it's the Black Death that we have to worry about. Okay, but what if Bagan kills this monster? What then? The girls cannot answer him in this very awkward moment. On the roof of the hotel, the members of New Light are overlooking the city of True Tokyo with the cold breeze blowing back their hairs. What do you girls think? Honestly, I don't know what to think. I know what to think of this, and that is, thank God. It feels like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Yes, right? And personally, I can't wait to see a monster battle for the first time.
Ooh, my mind is racing with so many ideas.
You and me both. What's the monster's name again? Inside of room 111, the night leader Marshall is looking out the window, watching the civilians on the streets. Orwell is sitting on his bed, eyes closed and arms crossed. And Cromwell is sitting in a chair in front of a mirror, brushing her hair. Godzilla is his name? That's right. Here in Japan, it's Gojira, apparently meaning the incarnation of God. I'm not sure if I should be grateful or insulted. You might as well pick the former. He's the only chance we got against Bagan, even if he is much worse than it. Marshall looks away from the window and darts his eyes directly at his comrade. What do you mean, worse than Bagan? Within the hotel spa, the Amaxa and Khrushchev are having the time of their lives while being informed of what Godzilla did yesterday. On the massage table, Tatamiya lifts his head. Seriously? Godzilla destroyed 2 ships? Also, go lower on the back there. Ooh, there we go. Yes. Not to mention, he did a lot of damage in Okinawa and Ikata. Sounds like we got ourselves a savior. Question 1. Are you sane in the head right now? Of course I am. Psh, I would argue that Ikata got the end of the stick, especially when the kaiju started breathing blue fire from his mouth. Sitting within the hotel's indoor pool in swimsuits, Agnese and her nuns are shocked at what Godzilla can do. He breathes blue fire? Yes, and his skin is like some sort of armor, same as Bagan's. He took a railgun directly to the face and just walked away. Before he destroyed the ACDF and JSDF forces. Damn. Pardon me. At least we have the Black Death to worry about. I guess that's true. But my question is, how do we get them to fight? Back inside of room 280, Kamijou is stunned beyond belief. What is wrong?
I am not going through what I went through again.
Alright. I know that I am in the wrong. However, it is the only way. Bagan and Xenoff are probably on their way, so there is little time. Also, it is your plan, and it will be your execution. Can you at least bring my gargoyle to Tokyo? It is already outside, and the locals cannot stop standing around it for 2 seconds. Master, can I be somewhere safe? No. Worst case scenario, Bagan will go after you first. The boy is right, and you will have to ride with him so that you two will not be separated. Oh yeah, because what could possibly happen there? You and your big fat mouth, Touma. I know, and I hate my luck too. 4:45 p.m. Phew, it's all set up now. She wipes her forehead and stands aside from the computer. Uehiro pulls in a USB drive and clicks on the file. Multiple documents, graphs, bioanalysis, and PowerPoints, all about the kaiju himself, pops up. Mikoto, Ruriko, and Kai looks over her shoulder and stares at the screen, with Sphinx jumping into her lap. It kind of looks like stuff we already know. Yeah, but there are some new things in here. I guess there is a reason why Dr. Kobayashi went with us. She did all of this yesterday? She has some help. Alright, let's start off with something that's been bugging me. If he is supposed to be aquatic, how is Godzilla able to walk on land? Actually, I was wondering the same thing when we found out about him, but there is an answer for that. Uehiro clicks on the first file, opening an X-ray image showing Godzilla's skeleton. It was natural evolution. Because of the square cube law, certain large animals can't physically walk on land. Blue whales comes to mind. But with Godzilla, he's a bottom-heavy creature, meaning his bones are much thicker than a normal human or animal. Or it could be his tail keeping him balanced. That too. Okay, what about his skin? He got hit with so many projectiles and my own railgun didn't do anything. Well, there's a reason for that. She pulls out the PowerPoint detailing the kaiju's skin in layers. His skin is like a crocodilian. Fitting, I know. However, here's the bizarre part. Every skin, every ounce of blood, and everything underneath them remains intact, no matter the caliber. Even if his skin is damaged, there's a small window of time when he regenerates. Misaka immediately remembers what McIntyre told her when the two met each other in School District 15. What would you call it? I got nothing, but they did give it a name. Regenerator G1. Fancy. Now, about his fire breath. Dr. Kobayashi figured that one out. I actually wrote it down here. She pulls out photos of Godzilla breathing blue fire from his mouth with a set of nose sitting on the right-hand corner. We all saw that Godzilla was able to absorb all of the radiation from the plant. Apparently, he absorbs the radiation into his dorsal fins, then transfers it into his bionuclear circulatory system somewhere within his body so that he can draw energy from it. When he gets angry or threatened, it triggers some sort of neutron flux that manifests itself into a blue light, which is why the tip of his tail, to his fins, to the back of his head started glowing blue and that charging sound we heard. Then, when all of that energy is collected and concentrated into Godzilla's throat, the nuclear synthetic glands, it resulted in the kaiju firing blue flames from his mouth like a dragon. And you'll never guess what Kobayashi called it. What did she call it? The atomic breath. The atomic breath? Oh, it has something to do with the atom. And when the flames touches something or someone, the atom splits and, like an atom bomb, explodes. Though there is a 2-second delay. Speaking of atoms, how are you and Misaka not radiated? It's because the radiation around its body only stretches up to over 2.5 centimeters. The three girls become surprised. Seriously? So we can get close to him and nothing will happen to us? As long as you don't touch him with your bare hands. Actually, I got a question for you. Uehara turns away from the screen to Mikoto as she pets Sphinx. During your time reading the novel, did you know that Godzilla can fire an atomic breath? No. The book never mentioned that. It only mentioned something called an incandescent light. And that's all. Another thought comes into the middle schooler. Oh, there is one last thing, and it shifts back to the topic of energy fields. Do you remember what an AIM diffusion field is? Yes, a phenomena where an esper involuntarily emits an invisible energy field in his or her body. Why do you ask? Uehara's concerned and worrying face makes her not respond to her friend. She turns back to the monitor and clicks on a graphic. It shows Godzilla once again, but with a massive bubble surrounding the kaiju. The three girls looks at the screen. What is that? Wait, he has an AIM diffusion field? That's the thing. It's not. The research teams at the AIM Analytic Research Center were baffled when they found this discovery. They found something that is similar to it, with most of its properties the same, but the rest of them are completely new. What does this mean? Uehara turns back to Mikoto. Well, it means two things. One, Godzilla has something new that no scientist or esper has ever seen before. And two, it would explain why he was able to detect your electricity. Which is weird because your AIM diffusion field emits electromagnetic waves that affects all electronics. Auto cleaners, the wind turbines all over the city, the list goes on. But that depends on your proximity around them. So what's the proximity of Godzilla's bubble? Uehara takes in a deep breath and stands up, holding Sphinx in her arms. 32.18 kilometers. Misaka's eyes widens out of shock. She places her hands on her friend's shoulders. Tell me that you're joking. The middle schooler lightly shakes her head, confirming that she is not. Mikoto removes her hands and walks away from her. Konori, Saten, and Uehara looks at each other concerned for their friend's well-being. The level 5 stops herself in her tracks. Wait. She turns back around. If his bubble is that huge, then does that mean he can be able to... A Japanese submarine, the JS Namashio, is driving 100 meters below the surface of the Pacific at 10 knots. The crew inside are ordered to monitor the area. Within an unkai trough, the kaiju Godzilla lies on his stomach, sleeping and keeping the sea life away from his area with its calm bellowing. A jolt of energy hits its mind. He opens his eyes, waking himself up from his slumber, and lets out a light bellow. Something has catched his attention and caused him to wake up. He lifts his head up and spots the Namashio slowly passing over him. He can hear the sonar from within. It is not what is getting his attention, but it is something else entirely. He lifts his body from the seafloor and continues to look straight up. His eye shuts halfway as his suspicion grows. Godzilla jumps up and begins swimming upwards. Within the submarine, the sonar is tracking his movements. Captain. The captain of the sub approaches the man through the sonar. He stares at the line crossing the green dot, indicating the kaiju's location and where he's heading. Speeding direction, 15 knots and increasing, heading east. As the beast approaches 100 meters below the surface, the submarine follows him at a distance of 180 yards away. The captain does not want to make any chances, knowing what this kaiju did. 5:15 p.m. Godzilla continues to swim at a steady 15 knots with the Namashio following close by. His eyes veers off southwards. He spots the island of Miyake, and a single memory flashes in his mind. Suddenly, the same energy jolts him back to reality. Alert, he turns his head north. Then, he turns his whole body to the left. Whoa! Captain, the target just changed course 110 degrees to the northeast. Where is he heading? Tokyo Bay, sir. Perfect. Inform the surface fleets and inform the PM. At 5:20 p.m., the regularly scheduled programming on TV and radio is interrupted by the breaking news. Inside of Judgment's 177 branch office, Misaka, Konari, Uehiro, and Satin pays attention to the TV, while inside of the Tokyo Station Hotel, all of the workers, staff, sorcerers, Kamijou, and Prime Minister McIntyre listens in on the radio or watches on the TV. This is an emergency news bulletin. This is an emergency news bulletin. Please do not adjust your TV sets or radio stations. Moments ago, the JMSDF submarine Namashio has been following the kaiju's movements. As reported, the crew and captain stated that he made a sudden turn to the northeast just off of Miyake Island. The captain has confirmed that Godzilla is heading for Tokyo Bay. All residents within the Bay area must evacuate immediately.
Tokyo Bay?
That is our cue.
Let us move!
Francis, with Touma, Elizabeth, Otanis, and Kaori, rushes out of the room. In the branch office in Academy City, Misaka immediately grabs her red scarf, wraps it around her neck, and rushes to the door.
Wait, are you sure that you want to head to Tokyo?
Mikoto stops herself in her tracks as she grabs onto the doorknob. She turns around and looks at Mai dead in the eyes. Listen, if Godzilla's energy field is that massive, then he'll be able to detect all of our AIM diffusion fields in Academy City. And then, he's going to head here. So you might as well pack up.
But what the hell are you gonna do? Your railgun doesn't work on him.
I may have an idea that I haven't done in months. It might work. She stares back at the door but hesitates to open it and lowers her head down slightly. If I don't come back, then tell my mother and father that I love them. See ya. As Misaka is opening the door, Uehiro finds out about something and stands up from her computer and rushes over to the middle of the room.
Wait, I just thought of...
Mikoto, rushing out of the room, stops her from finishing her sentence. Misaka rushes out of the building and immediately spots an ACDF transport truck in the front. The driver rolls down the window.
Hey, are you the railgun? I am. Get in. The kaiju is heading for the bay. You're with us. Who made that decision? Who the hell do you think? Now get in!
Misaka, without any further delay, gets inside of the truck and the vehicle drives off at 70 miles per hour. In Chuo City, the sorcerers, the British Prime Minister, and Kamijou exit the hotel with the latter and Index hopping onto the gargoyle, driving away, and the others heading to a safe distance away from the public eye. Throughout the 4 prefectures, Kanagawa, Tokyo, Saitama, and Chiba, all of the civilians are rushing out of their businesses, restaurants, and homes, closing them down and heading for a safe distance, or seeking shelter within the prefectures. The JSDF and ACDF are mobilizing at a rapid rate. As humanity is preparing itself for a new political war in Europe, a new war has already begun in East Asia.